Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Over 80 daycare children, as well as a few residents, were evacuated late this morning after a gas leak hit a North Fargo neighborhood. The leak was reported around 10:15 this morning at 3013 Madison Avenue North, and authorities blocked off about half of the street until 12:30 this afternoon. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was the first reporter on the scene, and she joins us live now with more. Bailey?
Thanks, Andrea. Now, there's still lots of crews here on the scene, and it's been over 7 hours now. Now, I talked with YWCA officials, and they say that there were 87 children that were safely evacuated and taken to Madison Elementary School. They say they notified parents both once they got to the school as well as when they safely returned back to the daycare, just giving them those updates. Now, as for the gas leak, fire officials tell me that it was XL Energy that was already here on the scene. They were here on a home meter call, and that's when fire officials say that a worker was shoveling, something sparked and caused a very miniature explosion. The homeowner even tells me that part of the siding on his house has melted off because of that explosion. Now, this is all still under investigation, but those are the key details that fire officials have told us so far. Reporting live in North Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Bailey. Fire officials say no children or neighbors were injured or sickened by the gas leak. However, one XL worker did have minor injuries. Fargo police are alerting the public about a high-risk sex offender living at Center Inc. in Fargo. That's 123 15th Street North. Authorities say 64-year-old Gail Bruce was convicted of sexual assault of an adult female for an incident that happened in 1999. He was also convicted of charges related to videotaping the sex act. We are entering a stretch of quiet weather, at least a few days of it. Let's take a look at your no-wait weather for this evening. Hutch, anything on the radar?
Well, the radar's very quiet in our neck of the woods. There were a few funnel clouds spotted across the central Dakotas on our Sunday afternoon. Today, storms heading toward the International Falls area and the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Temperatures range from 78 in Fargo and Minneapolis to 81 in Winnipeg. A lot of lower 70s in Lakes Country. Very refreshing and comfortable temperatures this evening in Fargo. 76 gorgeous degrees as we head through the 7 o'clock hour. Light winds and clear skies during the overnight. About the only weather woe, Andrea, could be some patchy fog that develops overnight. Other than that, it looks extremely quiet, as you so adequately mentioned. I'll have details on what we can expect as we head through the remainder of our work week. We will have a chance of some storms. We'll detail when and where here in just a few minutes.
You could hear it in my voice, right?
It's
happy.
Refreshing.
Yeah, thanks, Hutch. There's a scam sweeping the Mahnomen, Minnesota area. Officials with RVIG say they have gotten a handful of complaints from area residents saying they've been approached by people claiming to be RVIG service technicians and requesting access to homes. In at least one instance, the person asked if the homeowner had RVIG TV, and they might be asking if they can enter the home to check the boxes. These contacts were not made by RVIG employees or any RVIG vendor. If this happens to you, authorities say call 911 right away. Minnesota prisons are turning to telepsychiatry to provide inmates with mental health care. Telepsychiatry is when psychiatric services are provided through video, such as Skype or FaceTime. Michelle Sari directs the psychological services at the men's prison in Rush City, Minnesota. She says the prison's rural location makes having in-person mental health treatment challenging. This way, officials can assess and gauge emotions and feelings through the screen. The effectiveness of these calls relies heavily on the position of the camera and a strong internet connection. A global settlement has been reached with Equifax following a massive data breach in 2017. The settlement includes up to $700 million for penalties and relief to people who were negatively affected by the data breach. In September of 2017, Equifax announced that it had experienced a hack that affected some 147 million people. That's nearly half the American population. An FTC investigation found that Equifax failed to secure the data even after discovering vulnerability in its software. In addition, Equifax failed to monitor the breached systems, so the hack went undetected for more than 70 days.
When sensitive personal information is exposed and misused, it can cause devastating harm to consumers. Companies must take seriously their duty to protect consumers' information, and if they don't, the FTC, the CFPB, and the Attorneys General stand ready to act.
The settlement is the largest data breach enforcement action in history. The President and First Lady paid their respects to the late Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens. The pair visited the court's Great Hall, where the late justice is lying in repose, pausing for a few moments in front of the casket and Stevens' portrait. President Trump also could be seen greeting Chief Justice John Roberts before entering the hall. Stevens died last week at age 99. He served on the court for 35 terms until retiring in 2010. And North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has directed all government agencies to fly the U.S. and North Dakota flags at half-staff on July 23rd in honor of Stevens. The governor also encourages North Dakotans to do the same at their homes and businesses. Dream, seek, and achieve. It's the writing on the wall for Fargo's youth. The words were just spray painted on the Fargo police substation, but the building hasn't been vandalized or tagged. It's a message to local kids from officers. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall explains.
Art means to me, it's like all what you want, how you see the world or how you see people.
For Sophie, her art tells her history.
I did my concentration on my people as in Native Americans, and I did their myths and legends.
But her latest work connects her to the present and her future. She's one of a handful of students working on a Unity mural outside of the Fargo Police Department's substation on 25th Street South.
Most of them were extremely excited about it. They love the idea of being able to use their skills in sort of a beneficial way.
For us, we have a platform. So then what we try to do is go out and collaborate with kids, learn about their gifts, and then platform them with their gifts and talents and abilities.
Bloom says the mural represents the relationship between police officers and the young people they serve.
I just think art is powerful. I think art speaks. This art is really meant to be a piece that's going to say, we believe in you, we care about you, and we want you in our building. Now they can believe that they can actually do it. Not only that, they'll know that law enforcement will partner with them.
I think it's actually pretty cool that Officer Bloom actually put all of us into this and made us all into a big community and stuff like that, just to support everyone.
So while to some it may just look like street art, to Officer Bloom, the Unity mural looks like progress. And for Sophie, the opportunity to use her talents to connect with her community now and into the future means even more.
I see it as a big accomplishment, even though it's something little, just by painting a wall blue.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
The students were joined by Miami-based artist Alex Lopez. Work on the mural is expected to wrap up this Wednesday. It was made possible thanks to a grant. Drivers in downtown and North Fargo will need to watch for some new construction closures today. The eastbound lane of 12th Avenue North near NDSU will be closed between University Drive and 12th Street. There's some underground utility work going on, and the lane is expected to be blocked for 1 week. Also today, Broadway will close between 2nd and 3rd Avenues North for underground construction on the Block 9 project. It should reopen by August 13th. The new equipment to fix the traffic signals at 45th Street South and 32nd Avenue in Fargo has not arrived yet, so drivers are still dealing with a four-way stop at that intersection. The traffic lights have been out since July 12th when a vehicle crashed into an electrical box. The city tells us today crews are ready to go but are on hold until the equipment arrives. They are hopeful the signs will be fixed Tuesday or Wednesday. Can you say Viva Las Vegas? 3 West Fargo seniors are flying to Sin City tonight, but the trip is more than just a vacation. The students are going to Allegiant Air's headquarters in Vegas. The trio all earned $2,500 scholarships from the travel company. The awards are a first for our area and are based on the students' work during their time in Cass County's Career and Technical Education Center's aviation program. The program's director says the scholarships help with the need for future pilots.
One of the things that's such a value in this aviation program is the fact that there's such a need in the future of aviation due to retirements, the workforce demands.
To learn more about the students, their accomplishments, and the trip itself, you can tune in tomorrow. Valley News Team's education reporter Veronica Marshall is traveling with them to Las Vegas and will bring us more tomorrow.